It was never in the script. The secret double life of a dynasty hunk. John James swaps Carrington glitz for a real-life Greenacres and loses his heart to a very special lady. Welcome to Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous, television's unchallenged authority on wealth, prestige, and the good life.
Host is Robin Leach, who circles the globe to uncover the stories America will never stop talking about.
On this dazzling edition, the red-hot mama who stared death cold in the face. Before going head-to-head with Red Fox on Royal Family, Della Reese went one-on-one with the Grim Reaper in a life-and-death battle. The Hollywood daredevil who inherited the wind. Steve McQueen's legacy lives on in his son, flat out in the fast lane at 170 miles an hour. Turbocharged Chad McQueen's all-or-nothing race for glory. The Pink Palace, where Hollywood conducts business over breakfast. Step inside the Polo Lounge of the Beverly Hills Hotel as the stars salute the ultimate celebrity rendezvous. Get ready for an Eastern blockbuster party. Now the hammer and sickle of communism has fallen into the hands of freedom. The party's over all right, but a real one's just beginning as economics reshuffles the deck of world power. From Prague to St. Petersburg, Berlin to Budapest, liberated millions get their first taste of the sweet life, and American know-how now opens up the dazzling world of free enterprise. Incredible scenes that would make Stalin turn over in his grave, and much more when Lifestyles returns in a moment. Stay with us.
One of the world's most celebrated showbiz landmarks is the Hotel of the Stars and its most exclusive watering hole within. After 50 years in the spotlight as the place where Hollywood's elite come to meet, the famed Polo Lounge was toasted by its celebrity clientele.
When I first came to town, all I heard about was the Polo Lounge. When I came in, I sat over there in that corner. I've been sitting there for 25 years, and I love it. I have a phone there. It's like my office, like my home away from home.
Whether they're hobnobbing or just hanging out, stars and moguls alike know the top item on the menu is business.
A third of all the pictures made in Hollywood are discussed over breakfast in this room.
Its mystique is legendary.
Before I ever came to LA, I would sort of fantasize about what LA would be like. And I had seen pictures of the Beverly Hills Hotel with the pink and the green. And to me, whenever I think Los Angeles, I think Beverly Hills Hotel.
It won star status by growing up with Hollywood. Eagerly anticipated among a fledgling movie industry, it became a celebrity oasis in Nowheresville when it opened a year after construction began in 1911. The hotel's fame and fortune remained linked with Tinseltown. In 1933, it closed during the darkest days of the Depression. Since then, it's never looked back. In an early facelift, the hotel was painted its now trademark color and became, ta-da, the Pink Palace. The infusion of more millions than the gross national product of some small countries turned it into a landmark legend. On 12 manicured acres, one of its 21 private bungalows is a newly restored masterpiece of marble and wood. Filled with antiques, it's a 4-bedroom mini mansion complete with private pool that rents for $2,500 a night. The Beverly Hills Hotel, truly Tinseltown's home away from home.
Hollywood leading man John James leads a double life. From playing Jeff Colby, you might think he goes home to a stately mansion, dynasty style. Not so. John trades glitz for Greenacres. That's a 3,000-mile commute from his work in Los Angeles. He and wife, Denise, lovingly restored a 19th century home sweet homestead on 190 acres of upstate New York. For the hero of the Colby spin-off series, the move was a grassroots decision.
My wife and I had seen Baby Boom. We wanted to find a real old-fashioned, traditional colonial home, and we happened to find this one. And it's two ends of the spectrum. I think it's one of the most beautiful spots to live in the country.
Life doesn't get more contrasting than rural tranquility to the cut and thrust of Tinseltown.
I must be a split personality, a true Jekyll and Hyde, because I really do love the glamour of Hollywood. I really am a Gatsby. On the other hand, I think that earthiness is in me, and there's nothing I get more pleasure out of seeing a field that I planted of alfalfa, or saying I put those oats in. It kind of balances me, I think.
Long flights for each homecoming are sweeter still since the arrival of a little lady who brought out the macho man's tender side.
It's the best thing that's ever happened to me. It's the best. I mean, you walk in, you get, the looks. Now she's 9 months. She recognizes me, she smiles. They say that when she says, "I love you, Daddy," it's going to be like the biggest thing in your life. It's getting pretty good now. So I can imagine. It changes your whole point of view on life. And anybody who's a father will know what I'm talking about.
And father knows best when it comes to life's priorities.
Family comes first in our house. I had an opportunity to do movie of the week, and it fell right in when Denise was going to be delivering our baby. And I turned it down. I wanted to be there for that. So obviously you have to make adjustments, but if it came down to one or the other, the family would come first, I think. I think that's more important. I just try and live a normal life.
From Carrington Crystal to the country comfort of his local inn, John's transition to gentleman farmer is complete. Behind the Prince of Primetime's change of pace, a glow of happiness since meeting his wife at a glittering showbiz party. Little did he know it would change both of their lives.
When I met Denise, we were in the show was still on the air. Then I take her out of Hollywood and put her on the farm. But she loves it. I mean, we both love coming to New York and to London and Los Angeles, and we like that. But it's also nice to be able to come here and to kind of charge the batteries and know that this is our ground. This is our home base.
Serious about putting down roots, John's involvement with the farm is hands-on total. The former city slicker knows you reap what you sow.
I plowed these fields. As a matter of fact, I almost plowed the whole town down because I couldn't turn around. I enjoy that. I really do, and I love getting out. My dungarees are ripped because I ripped them, tearing them, working on something, not because I had to make it a fashion statement. They're really ripped blue jeans. And I work hard. I bale hay, I throw hay. One of the nice things about owning a farm, you don't need a health spa. Because after you've thrown about 200 of these puppies up, you certainly feel like you've done something.
Fans wouldn't let Dynasty be put out to pasture, and John returned for the 1991 reunion show with the other stars. Just when you thought you'd seen the last of the Carringtons. At rehearsals, it was pure knife styles. Even Blake uttered an ungallant double entendre.
I guess there wasn't much for Alexis to do in the Virgin Islands.
But it was John to the rescue as good guy Jeff Colby.
When I'm in front of the camera, it's magic time. That's the actor in me. And I'll always love that. And that's what pulls me back here.
With the best of two very different worlds in his hands, we wondered what more he could possibly want from life.
I want it all. I want to go plow some more in my field. I want, there's a lot of things I want in life. And knock on wood, I've been lucky to have done a lot of them so far, and I will hope to continue to.
John James making hay while the sun shines in his very own field of dreams.
Next, the 24-carat dynasty of the first family of jewelry. Van Cleef & Arpels' dazzling exclusive. In the 24-carat world of royalty and superstars, the name of a Paris jeweler is a private password, for only the very rich browse for baubles so lavish that if you have to ask the price, well, you know the old saying. But you also know lifestyles. Get ready for an exclusive preview of the very latest from Van Cleef & Arpels, courtesy of the heir to its throne.
Every year we come up with one new collection of about 20 pieces, just one collection. This year I can show you for the first time, in fact it just came in this morning, this necklace made of 19 oval emeralds from Colombia, which are the rarest emeralds, surrounded with diamonds, Nevette diamonds and brilliants. You also have the earrings here set with 6 different oval faceted emeralds with diamonds, and they like pendants on the ear. Every year in our collections we try to present some mysteriously set pieces. The mysterious set was created and invented by my family in the mid-30s. The idea is to be able to not see the prongs. In a way, the stones just hold together one against each other without anyone knowing how they hold. And it gives a very beautiful velvet look. This is the first time that anyone has been able to put together a piece with rubies next to diamonds in the invisibly set invention that we have created. This is really the highlight of our collection this year. About 100 carat of diamonds set in platinum. And the worry we had all along creating this piece was to make sure we could easily see the flowers in the center of the necklace. It's very hard to distinguish diamonds on top of diamonds. It took us about a year to put together.
Practice makes perfect in the baubles biz, and the first family of jewelry was on the cutting edge back in 1906. That's when the brothers Arpels opened shop on Swanky Place Vendôme. The super rich have beaten the path to Paris ever since. Young Francois will one day inherit the sparkling legacy from his uncle Jacques, grandson of the original founders. He told us that his money-no-object customers have never been constrained by anything as mundane as a budget.
I think in all royal family there's at least one or several pieces of jewelry with the signature Van Cleef & Arpels.
A most ardent devotee was the Duchess of Windsor.
We were all very proud, excited, and nervous because we got some telephone calls from Windsor Palace. And the Duke and Duchess of Windsor had decided to get married, and that's when we had to produce the fabulous ruby necklace.
The love story of the century was celebrated with so many exquisite pieces that they became the famed Windsor collection. When the Duchess died in 1986, they were sold on Sotheby's auction block for a dazzling $50 million. In a fierce bidding war for one sparkler, England's Prince Charles conceded defeat to Hollywood's own Queen Elizabeth. The price tag on that fleur-de-lis brooch, $600,000.
I've never spent that kind of money on myself in my life. It's the first time I've ever bought myself an important piece of jewelry.
Her 30-carat ring from Richard Burton was Van Cleef & Arpels, as was Princess Grace of Monaco's engagement bracelet and the diamond tiara she wore at daughter Carolyn's first wedding. Another commission required a year's work. When the Shah of Iran named his wife Empress, he commanded a crown of over 1,600 diamonds and a fabulous necklace. The jewelers visited Tehran 24 times before getting his final approval. Egypt's King Farouk was far less patient back in 1938.
One day she said, I'm not asking you if it can be done by the end of the month, I'm telling you it should. And that's the way I was trained, and we run the company by knowing that rich people are sometimes very impatient and expect a lot from us.
But when they say dazzle me, Jacques Arpel delights in delivering what they want.
Very fine jewelry means two things: the quality of the gems, the quality of the stones, and the good taste and the design being perfect.
When the patriarch passes on the legacy, he will do so knowing the original founders would have been proud of the family business.
I do think I'm so accurate that they would be proud.
Van Cleef and Arpels, nearly a century of service as jewelry's first family.
Still to come.
In October the 8th of 1979, my brain exploded. I had an aneurysm to rupture in my brain while I was doing the Johnny Carson television show. And they expected me to die immediately.
But Della Reese defied all the odds, thanks to survival secrets learned the hard way. Her amazing battle for life. Next. You've got 5 fantastic reasons to make the next lifestyles a must-see. Royal Rebel, Princess Stephanie's Rock and Roll Glory, or bust on a sun-splashed Acapulco vacation. Cupid claims Lorenzo Lamas. It's third time lucky in love. Cooking genius Martha Stewart's multi-million-dollar recipe for success. Jim Kelly roars from the rough and tumble to football superstardom. Plus the first ladies of tennis and their fabulous fortunes, all on the next lifestyles. Champagne wishes.
I cannot avoided, a crap game with a Baron and an Earl. And I have lived in Harlem, and I wore my sables and wore my pearls.
Unstoppable Della Reese is just that. Strutting her stuff since the 50s, she lets nothing and no one stand in her way, not even the Grim Reaper.
In October the 8th of 1979, my brain exploded. I had an aneurysm to rupture in my brain while I was doing the Johnny Carson television show. And they expected me to die immediately, and they kept expecting me to die, and they kept making preparations for me to die, and I was not ready to die.
16 hours of brain surgery saved her life, but doctors warned she'd never walk or lead a normal life again. They had no idea who they were talking to.
I would hum when they told me all that other stuff, that I might be a cripple, I might be a vegetable, I might be blind. I would sing. I didn't want to hear that inside my head, not out loud, rude in somebody's face, but in my head. I would go to another place.
A veteran of tough times, Della learned the power of positive thinking as a struggling unknown.
I knew that I wanted to sing, and I had to do a lot of other things. See, I drove a truck and a cab, and I operated an elevator and a switchboard and waitress, but I knew inside of me that I wanted to sing. Now, a lot of people say that your voice is too low. You sound like a man. You know, you go home and have babies. You're too fat. Don't sing. You can't do this anymore. No. But I knew inside of me that I want to sing.
With determination and a whole lot of talent, Della hit the big time in the early 60s. Her freight-train vocals and razzmatazz style is straight from the soul.
And the Rockies may crumble, Gibraltar tumble, they're only made of clay. But our love is here to stay.
As the queen of one of television's most hilarious households, Della went on to hold court opposite a veteran king of comedy.
Sure. Where are you going?
I'm going to stay to bed.
Not to my bed, knucklehead.
Knucklehead. She called it king of knucklehead. Sounds like the beginning of a coup.
I'm the #1 Red Fox fan in the world. And so working with him is quite a pleasure for me.
Those people that don't smoke probably get killed by a truck. The truck driver that's smoking.
Della and her real-life husband live in secluded luxury in Southern California. Their Bel Air hideaway is near President Reagan's retirement spread. She first spotted the home perched on the highest point in the exclusive community back in the mid-60s. Della flipped for the property's sprawling ranch style, but what really sold her was the view.
I walked in the back and I saw this wonderful lake, and I said, this is it. And I've been here since then. It's a very comfortable house. It's not so big that I have to have 27 people to come in here and clean it up. And it's not, rooms where you sit on one side of the room and the person on the other side of the room is in the far distance. It's a homey house, and it's just right for my husband and I. When I come home to be what I want to be, to walk around in my gown and maybe comb my hair, maybe not. I feel very comfortable here, and I have from the day I walked in the door.
3 decades bopping at the top have earned Della such luxuries as a magnificent indoor pool and a top-dollar hobby. She began her Send in the Clowns collection when daughter Della Jr. was a baby and Mum was away on long tours on the road.
The clown is a very interesting person to me. He is devoted to making you feel something. That's his whole deal. Make you cry, or make you laugh, or make you feel silly. But all of the things that he wants to get to, you have to feel them. And I'm a feeling person. So we have this in common. I talk to him, and we're all good friends. All my clowns and I are good friends.
With a new lease on life, Della's payback is being a positive influence to those around her. She's living proof that you really can beat the odds.
I believe that life is for living, and I try to do that every day. I get as much out of every day as I possibly can. It doesn't always work out that way, but that's where I'm going. I wasn't always up here on this hill. I had to work my way up this hill. But you must first believe in you or you can't get anything done.
Della Reese, the survivor with something real to sing about.
Directly ahead, the driving force that keeps a screen legend's son in the fast lane. Chad McQueen's legacy, like father, like son. Robin?
And from Prague, Czechoslovakia, the very heart of Europe, a special bottom line report. Now that communism has fallen, everyone's toasting to the good life. Get ready for unbelievable scenes of life, liberty, and the pursuit of free enterprise. Stay with us. Is the resemblance between Steve McQueen and his son Chad uncanny, it goes one stage further. Like father, like son, the young McQueen has inherited that lust for speed and is now truly following in his father's footsteps. Little wonder Chad McQueen took the fast lane like a pro. He inherited more than just rugged good looks and a lust for life from his hard-driving, fast-living father. He inherited the win.
My first experience in a race car was my dad was doing a film called Le Mans, and maybe that's where all the sickness started, I don't know. But, I started riding motorcycles when I was 6, which my dad started me on. So then I started racing at 9 mini-cycles, and then at 13 I won a national championship here in the United States, and then my dad made me quit. He didn't want my whole life just to be motorcycles, which it was. I mean, I didn't really care about anything else. And I don't think my life was a normal kid's life, but my situation was kind of different. So I think that he wanted me to experience other things like normal kids.
But this particular kid was destined for something out of the ordinary. Movie star status and racetrack glory. Since making his professional debut at the 1987 Toyota Grand Prix, Chad's been hot-tipped as a future champion. Before he put it all on the line one more time, I asked how he stays cool under pressure.
The time I get butterflies is before a race starts, you know, and I try as hard as I can to calm myself down. If you didn't feel that, I don't think you'd be human, really. You never really realize how fast you're going until you spin out or you make a mistake, and how long it takes you to stop. And I've crashed, I've hit walls, and I've crashed into other people and vice versa, but that's life.
In just a few moments, Chad McQueen will push pedal to the metal at a death-defying 175 miles an hour. Each race speeds Chad nearer to his ultimate goal, nothing less than the most demanding test of man and machine. The cost of competing is staggering, with car, crew and coach figure on little change from $3 million. But with such big-time sponsors as Hawaiian Tropic, New York Seltzer and Persol, Chad is unfazed. His eyes are on one prize, the Indy 500.
I think that's part of the danger and the lure of car racing. You always want to go to the next step.
His California oceanfront hideaway is a shrine to fast cars, faster bikes, and even faster women. The beauty on the back is enough to rev any man's motors. She's Miss Hawaiian Tropic 1990 and a former Miss Czechoslovakia.
What's the joy of living at the beach for you?
Bikinis. You know, without sounding like a sick dog, but I like the beach. It's relaxing, and I'm far enough from LA where if I get fed up, you know, I can leave for a few days and not have to deal with all this stuff.
At first glance, Chad's home seems designed for comfort, not speed. Then you notice the antique bike in the dining room. It's a precious possession and a gift he can never part with.
That's a 1914 Indian, which was a racer, which my father gave to me. And, you know, those kind of things are a little personal to me, and where some people might look at them and think they're junk, to me they're very special. And that's probably another thing that I got from him was, it's all in the eye of the beholder.
Beneath his father's portrait, Chad displays an incredible collection of vintage cars and bikes. His favorites include a 58 Porsche Speedster and his very first car, a Chevy pickup that he worked 2 years to pay for. Chad's Olay Getaway is a sun-kissed south-of-the-border resort where the living is easy.
And I love Mexico.
And the girls just love Chad. Add fame from the racing circuit, the 3 feature films under his belt, and you're looking at a rising star who's not afraid to do his own stunts. Movie makers are betting he's got that special McQueen magic wrapped up in a tough and tender package for the 90s.
Do you think you got this edge for living from your dad?
I'm sure. I think you're a product of your environment, and my dad was a very virile, active, physical man. Yeah, on a personal level, there's a lot of things that are private moments and personal moments. I learned a lot from him, and I wish he was around to see the direction I'm going in my life. I really do, but maybe he's.
But you think he'd approve? He'd
probably
be smiling.
Not. No. Well, I don't know. I think he'd probably get a little sore and then say, "All right, listen, you got to go deeper into this corner." So I mean, it's the catch-22.
Chad McQueen, most definitely a chip of the old cylinder block.
From the fatherland, get ready to meet the man who struck the mother lode. He's Munich multi-millionaire Michael Kromer, an amazing entrepreneur who once dreamed of making his mark as a movie star. But when it became clear he'd never make bags of money as an actor, he turned to making bags instead. But not just any old bag, he's the proud manufacturer of super luggage, built with the rich and status-conscious in mind. His $40 million MCM line has won a standing O and top billing among the jet set.
They call me the luggage king of Europe. And so I'm proud on that. I worked on that 15 years. And every second or fifth woman in Europe on the airport, they has a piece of MCM.
The designer label craze exploded around the time casting agents were telling him, "Don't call us, we'll call you." So he determined to spin his initials and birthplace, Michael Kromer, Munich, into a label of equal status. Rave celebrity reviews for his bags resulted in a tennis hero and entertainers Siegfried and Roy among customers who don't leave home without one.
The wife of Karl Malden, she bought white and blue suitcases, I think 10 or 15. The whole set, $20,000.
That's the MCM price tag, and over 200 stores worldwide prove that plenty of people are willing to pay it. Michael went on to generate his mega millions by adorning the logo on a slew of top-dollar designer merchandise. The man with the Midas touch maintains success was hard-won. When he first gambled his modest savings and challenged the big-name labels, he had absolutely nothing to fall back on.
I was not born with a silver spoon in my mouth. Every little penny I earned on myself. When I was beginning, I was my own model. I did the advertising, I was doing the designing, the financing, I was going around, I was the delivering, I was selling in the shop with my wife.
But living well is the best revenge. Waldtruderingen is the Beverly Hills of Munich, and Michael's home is lavish by any standards. Wife Patty and daughter Mara, both MCM executives, help oversee an empire that quite literally has success in the bag. This allows Michael to indulge his lifetime passion for auto exotica.
I drive this Bentley, it's a fantastic car. I had a lot of Porsches, and I moved over then to Ferrari. I hope to get next year a little bit my dream days coming out the new Testarossa.
His Trabant was just $4,000, factory new from what was East Germany. The no-frills car from the DDR then underwent a $250,000 makeover. It's Michael's way of thumbing his nose at the former workers' paradise.
I plated this in gold, pure gold, and we have a stereo radio there. It's bigger than the engine.
His home also reflects the lavish humor of a self-made man who can afford to indulge every whim.
It takes 7 or 8 or 10 years to make it in the right shape like it is now. It was a lot of work, but now I'm happy. It's done, and I think it's nice done. It looks out like the Russian embassy, but inside it's English.
There's a fully equipped gym and game room, a bistro-style wine cellar, and one special touch of Hollywood. The man who made his fortune on a logo will go to any depth to incorporate it at home. His garden pond contains rare Japanese goldfish called koi. Here, the Cromer School of Style adds up to over $100,000. Each fish costs between $5 and $20 grand each. To maintain such exotic tastes, Michael has remained a hands-on kind of boss. He runs a tight ship from MCM headquarters in one of Munich's most elegant office buildings. Special touches include an in-house chef for special business lunches and a private penthouse dining room. His clients even dine on MCM plates.
This is my office because I have to sell luxury goods. I can't sit in the cellar in a dark place. I want to be optimistic. I have to create something.
The latest creation is a bold new product, designer perfume. His nose for a winner tells him MCM fragrance will further the company's sweet smell of success.
The company is my child. It was a hard work. There was not that man with a big hat and said, Michael, you did a good work. I give you 10 million. That's a good idea. I'm waiting for this guy. He's not coming. So I had to work.
Michael Cromer, Germany's luggage king who made the best kind of mark, the Deutschmark. Now let's get to Robin.
Free enterprise has officially arrived throughout Eastern Europe, and all the countries here are rapidly becoming the major tourist destinations for the 90s. McDonald's is on the way, and here in Czechoslovakia, they're even publishing their own edition of Playboy, complete with Hollywood actress Joan Severance on the cover. And not too far behind, the moguls of Hollywood's TV and film studios ready for new locations as the Iron Curtain comes tumbling down. Freedom rang with the fall of the Berlin Wall, and leaders who'd seen the writing on it, Poland's Lech Walesa, Czechoslovakia's Václav Havel, and Moscow's dynamic duo Mikhail Gorbachev and Boris Yeltsin. Yet long before capitalism's victory over communism, lifestyles predicted that the hammer would soon do more than just decorate the sickle. Our Eastern Blockbuster exclusives repeatedly threw the spotlight on party members who had become more equal than others. We brought you Moscow's Madonna, the singing star who revealed how she beat the system to earn over $100 million. Then there was the Soviet Stephen King. Russia's super-rich, best-selling author told us way back why communism was doomed.
They want to be poor, but all together. I want will be rich.
Now red is officially dead and the greenback declared winner. 70 years of communism and its ghosts are being exorcised by the very people that it failed. With the Cold War in deep freeze and Groucho Marx more popular than Karl, millions look to the West for a new battle hymn. When Lifestyles returns in a moment, things that you'd never ever have believed possible. The bottom line, one party's over and a new one's just beginning.
If knowledge is power.
Get out of here!
If chastity is a virtue.
He was undressing me with his eyes.
If silence is golden.
Why don't you just blow it out your ditty bag?
Then you probably wouldn't be interested in 4 girls who just want to have fun.
I feel just like a fisherman with a new lure.
You catch 'em, you clean 'em.
I guess variety is the spice of life.
If you want fun, check out the Golden Girls. Weeknights at 6:30 on Channel 9.
Awaken to the freshness of Far. Just a drop of Far shower gel pampers your entire body with a satiny lather. Its rich emollients and moisturizers leave your skin silky soft. And the gentle scent of its unique fragrances will invigorate you throughout the day. Which is why Far is Europe's favorite shower gel. Far, freshness you can feel. Far shower gel, foam bath, and luxury soap are available at these fine stores.
Farm fresh eggs, garden ripe vegetables, cheeses, and Bob Evans farm sausage. We took all the goodness you've come to expect from Bob Evans and rolled it in a soft flour tortilla to create a brand new taste from down on the farm. Introducing Bob Evans' new sausage, ham, and zesty cheese burritos.
Bob Evans, down on the farm.
Flossie Dijon for Cancer Treatment Centers of America.
When they diagnosed me as having inoperable cancer, I didn't think I'd ever be fishing again. I'm certainly glad I went to Cancer Treatment Centers of America to enjoy my life again. My family, my husband. You could get well. I'm living proof.
Call 1-800-632-8700. It could save your life.
You've got 5 fantastic reasons to make the next lifestyles a must-see. Royal Rebel, Princess Stephanie's, Rock and Roll Glory, or bust on a sun-splashed Acapulco vacation. Cupid claims Lorenzo Lamas. It's third time lucky in love. Cooking genius Martha Stewart's multi-million-dollar recipe for success. Jim Kelly roars from the rough and tumble to football superstardom. Plus the first ladies of tennis and their fabulous fortunes, all on the next lifestyles. Champagne wishes. For daring to dream of fame and fortune, these headliners had no choice but to escape from behind the Iron Curtain to find their pot of gold in the West. But as you're about to see in this special report on the victory of capitalism over communism, with freedom comes a new bottom line. The new kids on the Eastern Bloc now have such homespun heroes as Alexei Pajitnov. The Moscow mathematician chipped away at the Soviet system by selling his computer games to an American software giant. He made millions. But for Hungary's Erno Rubik, it was second time lucky. The cube inventor collected just $360,000 in royalties from a $50 million hit. The state kept the rest. But in 1986, he invented another game, marketed it himself, and became rich beyond his wildest dreams. When it came to cooking up big business in newly liberated lands, McDonald's was the first to shake its bums, closely followed by Hollywood. Movie moguls took glasnost at its word and applied in triplicate to shoot behind the Iron Curtain. After decades of faking it at look-alike locations, the real thing boosted box office bonanzas. Donald Sutherland's political thriller was lensed in Poland. Glenn Close's love story and Bruce Willis's comedy spoof was shot in Hungary. In another spy saga, scenes set in Leningrad and Moscow were the genuine article. New television opportunities are staggering. 225 million viewers from St. Petersburg to Siberia. Tune in and learn how to be as rich as JR himself in 1992. For Ivan and Olga, the fundamentals of capitalism will be all spelled out with those South Fork Ranch shenanigans. After that, they'll be ready for some champagne wishes with Lifestyles as their next TV import. On the music front, after years of outlawed tapes smuggled from the West, the Eastern Bloc has learned to rock. US promoters didn't miss a beat, cornering an untapped market. Billy Joel sparked a Russian youth revolution with the first American rock concert. Yet another nail in the coffin of communism. The Berlin Wall fell for Cyndi Lauper, and in Prague, 30,000 Czechs bounced to Rhyming Simon. Then from the very heart of Mother Russia, heavy metal ski. Censorship and repression spawned a generation of musicians ready to unleash their sound of protest. A Czech folk singer who fled to Florida to avoid censorship returned to Prague in triumph. He was fated a cult hero with his cry for freedom.
For me, it's a beautiful time, and we like these people. It's our people.
With 3 cheers for liberty came a first look at some of the Eastern Bloc's other natural resources. The Girls of Glasnost swimsuit video was the brainwave of Bill Chesick.
My simple idea was to go to the world of Glasnost and to let those girls, the best of Glasnost, take on and compete with the swimsuit girls of America.
A 20-year-old Polish beauty won first prize and has since become a top model for New York's Wilhelmina agency. She makes more money each day than her entire family back home earns in a year.
This is a dream. Every people in Poland, America, and work in America. This is wonderful.
Another spin-off of Perestroika is literally food for thought. The Golden City of Prague will soon be playing host to the Golden Arches from America. Yep, McDonald's is coming to town. Later this year, they'll start construction on their first fast food outlet right here, just off Wenceslas Square. Don't think of it, though, as an American invasion, because after all, the founder of McDonald's, Ray Kroc, was a Chicago-born Czech. Already a hit in Russia, the Moscow McDonald's is the world's busiest, serving over 50,000 customers a day. With 4 more outlets in Hungary and 3 in Yugoslavia, you could call it unconditional surrender to a Big Mac attack. The flag of freedom waved in more slices of the American pie. Pizza Hut, Baskin-Robbins ice cream, Procter & Gamble, and Estee Lauder, the cosmetics giant. On formerly unfriendly soil, American know-how got down to business. Russia was first to discover that things go better with Coke, but in what used to be one of its satellite countries, the real thing is still a more traditional tipple. The beer flows day and night at Czechoslovakia's oldest brewery, built back in 1499. Just a shame it isn't champagne. But the beer will soon be sold stateside thanks to bold new trade agreements, and that's just for openers. The most exciting element of Détente is once forbidden lands are now wide open and ready to become our new vacation hotspots. From Black Sea resorts, the legacy of communism is the same as at quaint inland hamlets, a total absence of any commercial development. You'd think that time had stood still. But that's all changing as the East rolls out a different kind of red carpet and gears up to offer its best to the West. The new Atrium Hotel here in Prague, Czechoslovakia, is about to open. Proof positive that capitalism has really taken over since the fall of communism. This 1,500-room hotel is the first joint venture between a French business group and the Czech tourist agency. And strengthening those ties between the United States and Eastern Europe, Dan Quayle was amongst the first to check in. Booked solid through 1992, it joins the elite ranks of prestigious hotels that defy the Spartan stereotype. Add a 41-story, 520-room Warsaw wonder, and we'll need to rewrite our rich and famous World's Best Guide to include them all. Even more amazing are such established luxury hotels as the aptly named Grand in what was East Berlin. It's no longer the exclusive haunt for high-ranking party officials. At the Pride of Budapest, hard currency buys luxury unlimited. It's the same story in downtown Moscow, and also at a neighboring hotel where the steppes of Russia are plushly carpeted. The amazing changes were especially enjoyed by a native son in his former homeland. The comic unleashed political satire that once would have earned a one-way ticket to a gulag. The chicest restaurant in Budapest has been reopened by Georges Lang, owner of New York's famed Café des Artistes. And Czech-born Ivana Trump has designs on Prague.
I would love to come and maybe open a small hotel, invest a little money in the hotel or with the group of the people alone, whatever. I think Prague needs hotels so badly.
Ultimately, the deck of world power was reshuffled by economics, and the dollar came up aces over the ruble. In the new order, the bottom line is bottoms up. But let's all be very glad it didn't happen the other way around. Thank you for joining us. From Prague in Czechoslovakia, I'm Robin Leach with those champagne wishes and caviar dreams. Nazradi! We all look forward to joining you on the next edition of Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous.
Fly-away vacations to 27 Caribbean destinations from only $66 per person. Airfare is extra, so call American or your travel agent today. I'm David Perry.
It's a land of make-believe. Dreams become reality, and we can dance away to the rhythm of the night. When the time is right, you'll know, and the feelings start to show. There's magic everywhere, and love is in the air. It's a lifestyle where the neighbors go to play. It's a lifestyle. It's a dream not far away, full of champagne wishes and caviar dreams. In the sunshine or the snow, in the rain or winds that blow, it stood the test of time. In the playground of my mind, where you leave your cares behind, there's no trouble you will find.
Paul Mitchell hair care shampoos, conditioners, and styling tools. Cruelty-free Paul Mitchell. Your style demands it. New exciting Major League Baseball raisins from All-American Raisins. Check out your local team, the Healthy Pro Sports Snack. Experience Santa Fe Cologne. For her, for him, forever. And discover why it gets pretty hot in Santa Fe. Purina Puppy Chow brand puppy food. More nutrition than most adult dog foods. Pet tested, veterinarian recommended. The Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous is a TPE presentation.